A few years ago, I made a video where I ranked all of the RuneScape 3 skills on a tier list, and the skill that I ranked the lowest was Dungeoneering. I even made it one of the optional thumbnails for that video. And I've talked to a lot of people. I think most people I've talked to like Dungeoneering. They like it, they think it's a fun way to train, especially early on. I talked to a few people that don't like it, but it seems like most people disagree with me. But maybe that's just because I've only heard from the few people who do like it. But I have a friend of mine in my Discord who was talking to me about how much he likes Dungeoneering, and he felt like I didn't really give it a fair shot when I've tried it in the past and when I tried it with him. But I just want to talk about today the reasons I don't like Dungeoneering. I hate it. Honestly, I hate it. I feel that strongly about it. So in the background, you're going to be seeing footage from a live stream that I did with my wife a few years ago. Actually, 6 years ago. It was in 2020, where we played Dungeoneering. We did Dungeoneering the whole stream, and my wife got so frustrated at Dungeoneering that she had to walk away. She was like, I gotta go. I can't do this anymore. And I was like, you know what? I'm also not having a good time. So I ended the stream. I was like, bye everybody, we're done. We're not having fun. Goodbye. And so you're gonna be seeing footage in the background of me and my wife and my friend playing RuneScape and doing Dungeoneering. And man, even just looking at this footage, one of the first things I don't like about Dungeoneering is it's just so dull to look at. Oh my gosh. And I know there are some people out there who don't put much stock in the visuals. And what I mean by that is the visuals don't have a large impact on their enjoyment of the game. And I know that because in other videos I've made where I talk about how Jagex is going to update the visuals of RS4, a lot of people are like, okay, so what? Why does that matter so much? And I said in the comments of those videos that I am a vibes man. I'm all about vibes. If the gameplay loop is fun, the vibes can be weird and I could still find myself having a good time. It probably wouldn't be my favorite game in the whole world. So I'm like, you know, okay, vibes can be a little weird, and I'll still enjoy it. But man, look at this. Look at this. It's so boring. It's so drab and boring. Everything is just gray and blue, but like a grayish blue. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so dull. And when I spend a lot of time in Daemonheim doing dungeon, I just start to think about like all the colorful and beautiful locations in Gielinor that these artists for this game have created, and I'm just like stuck in this hellhole. That's really how it feels. Like, there are so many beautiful places. Like, I mean, even Taverley and Burthorpe in RS3 look really nice and way better than this. And they are like, I know they're not right outside Daemonheim technically, because Daemonheim is its own island, but they're very connected. They're like connected to each other, and like this is just so, I just don't like it. I don't like it. It has a really large effect on me. And again, you might not understand that. You might be like, who cares? Like, what about like all the actual game, like the playing of the game? And you know, if graphics don't affect you, that's fine. Everybody's brain works differently. But if I were to answer that argument of like, who cares? I mean, obviously the visuals of a game like this have some effect, or else it wouldn't matter what they put on the screen. You know, they could put anything, any quality, and it'd be fine. But that's not the case. And even old school, right? Old school is, it does not have bad graphics. It has dated graphics, but that doesn't mean bad. You know, they're leaning into the retro style because they are trying to keep the spirit of 2007-scape alive in old school. So they're leaning into the retro style. But that game looks great. Like, I even think by today's, that game looks great. It does clearly seem like a retro game, but there are a lot of people who are making brand new games, you know, in the last few years, and they are purposefully making them look retro. And they're not actually old games like old school RuneScape is. They are new games that have never existed before, but they're making them look retro. And it looks good, you know? I think old school looks good. And graphics, I think they do play a part in the player experience. And they might play less of a part for you if you're listening to this and graphics, you're like, I don't really care, like, I don't mind the way Daemonheim looks. I don't really care about that, you know? Well, that's two different people. There might be people who don't mind the way it looks and they do like the graphics. Like, they're like, I think it looks good. I think it fits the world or whatever. But then there are probably people who are like, I don't really care about graphics so much. I just care about the game mechanics and the gameplay loop, and so I don't care about this. And I mean, all of it's subjective. It's all my opinion. But to me, this is the most subjective, where it's like, you know, I don't know how many people agree with me about this. You know, maybe in the comments, a lot of people will be like, no, I agree with you. Like, I think Daemonheim looks terrible. But, you know, I started with this one because it's the most subjective. I don't like it. I don't like the way the graphics look from a design standpoint. Like, I don't mean like they did a bad job putting it together. I just mean from an ideological standpoint, the graphic design of Daemonheim is boring and drab, and I hate looking at it. And it makes my time there so slow and so rough. So, you know, that's point number one. I don't like the graphics. I would say point number two is I don't love the gameplay loop. And my friend in Discord was like, oh, you just gotta find the fun. And I was like, man, I don't think that's my job. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the game's job to hook me. And, you know, the overall game, RuneScape, has hooked me, obviously. I have a whole YouTube channel where I talk and play about basically just RuneScape. But this specific, you can't even call it a mini game. I don't know what you would call it. It is its own thing. It's completely separate from the rest of the game, and we'll talk about more of that later. But I don't know whatever you would call it. This skill, this isolated skill. It hasn't hooked me. It never has, and I've tried it several times. What you're seeing on screen is not the first time I tried it, and it's not the last time I tried it. And every time I've done it, I have just been like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get out of here. And the gameplay loop just does not hook me. Going from door to door, killing bad guys, picking up loot. The fact that you can't even use your own gear, you know, picking up every little thing that you can so that you can sell it back to the trader, so that you can get more money, so that you can buy better gear. Even talking about it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't care about that. I don't want to do it. Like, I've never done this skill and walked away going, you know what? I had a good time going through the dungeon that time. Like, no, just the loop has never gotten me. And I think for a game like this, a forever game, right? Like an MMO, almost everything that you have in the game needs to have some kind of hook, right? Obviously, the game overall needs to have a hook, and RuneScape does. But I think if you're going to give a player something to do in the game, that element has to have some kind of hook. Whether it's the gameplay loop itself, or maybe the benefits are huge, so they like, you know, maybe it's not super fun to do, but the benefits are so great that it's like, well, I'm gonna do it. I would say like the Guthuxian caches are a good example of that. The Guthuxian caches are not terrible, but I would rather not stop what I'm doing every hour to do them. But I do them because the divination XP that you get from that, especially at lower levels, is fantastic. So it makes it worth doing, you know? And I understand that you can get a lot of great skilling XP from Dungeoneering. I understand that, especially if you start at a really low level. But for me, the benefits have never outweighed the cons. Like, never. And then the gameplay loop is also boring. So it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing. I don't really care about the results. The main results are my Dungeoneering is going up, but I don't even like the skill in the first place. So I'm doing it just because I want to get all my skills up, but I don't even like it. So, you know, anyway, I don't have as much to say about this one, which is why it's number 2. But yeah, I just don't find the gameplay loop very fun. You can't even use necromancy in Dungeoneering, which I hate because I love necromancy. It's my favorite combat skill. And you can even see in the footage, necromancy is not there because this was from 2020, so no necromancy. But I think it's just not fun for me. The gameplay loop, I don't have fun doing it. Point number 3, the rewards aren't even that great. Now again, I know the rewards get better and better the further on you go. Like, you can really do some good high-level skilling in Dungeoneering. But man, I can never get anywhere close to that. You know, I can't even get past the first few levels just because it's so dull. Oh my gosh, it's just so dull to me. And I've never even gotten that far into the skill to be able to get, and some people might be like, well, then you can't complain because you haven't even gotten to the good part. And I'm like, my argument to that is, that's not fair to me. Because again, that is not my job. My job as the player is not to find the fun in what the game designers have made. It's the game designer's job to make it fun. And I keep doing it, in theory, because I have fun doing it. And so I just disagree with the argument of like, it gets good after 100 hours, so you don't really know what you're talking about until you've gotten, to like level 70 Dungeoneering. I reject that argument because I'm like, no, it's not my job to just trudge through 70 levels of dungeon to find the fun. It should just be fun. Most of these skills that you see on the skills list, I enjoyed training them at every level. At every level. There are a few exceptions. But most of those skills, I enjoy training them at every level. I have fun. There are fun training methods. Dungeoneering is just dull and boring and a slog to get through. And so I just I can't make it to the higher levels. In fact, on my main account, what I do is I just get all my other levels up as high as I can. And then I do Tears of Guthix, and I just always pick Dungeon as the skill that's going to be brought up to match the second highest level. So I always try to make sure all my levels are at a decent level before I do that, and it can just shoot Dungeoneering way up. Just because I'm like, I don't care about this, and I really don't want to do it. And yeah, in my mind, the rewards are just not worth it. They're just not. And again, you can tell me later on they become worth it, but I don't think it's fair that I have to sit through 100 hours of content that I hate just to finally get to content that I still hate, but that gives me better rewards. I don't think that's fair, and that might be worth it for you. It's definitely not worth it for me. Point number 4, it's completely isolated from the rest of the game. Now, obviously, I don't mean that other game mechanics don't function here, although that is true for necromancy, like I said earlier, but I mean it's completely separated from the rest of Gielinor. Like, really, if you want to train Dungeoneering, this is really the main way to train Dungeoneering, and it's completely isolated from the rest of the game. Literally, it's on its own island, and the whole island looks terrible, like I said. And so, it just feels like a different game, Like, it doesn't feel like RuneScape to me. And I know that's very subjective, what feels like RuneScape, but it's just so disconnected from everything, and it looks so drab and boring and so different from the rest of the game that it's just like, it feels like I'm not even playing the game that I love. It's a different thing. And that's why I was having trouble classifying it earlier. I was like, you can't call it a mini game because this is really a skill. This is the skill right here, Dungeoneering, in this dungeon. It just feels isolated, That statement is more objective. It is isolated from the rest of the game. Dungeoneering is kind of an island unto itself. Not kind of, it is. Dungeoneering is an island unto itself. It is separated from the rest of Gielinor. It feels not just literally disconnected from the rest of the game, but just all around disconnected from the rest of the game. And like I said, this is the more subjective bit. It doesn't feel as much like RuneScape to me, It doesn't have that charm and that fun and that medieval adventurous spirit. It's totally different. And those things are things that I really love about RuneScape, the things I just mentioned. And they're just absent here because it's disconnected from everything. And I think as a skill, it fails for that. I think a skill should be integrated naturally into the rest of the game. Because, you could argue, the city of is really far away from the rest of Gielinor. And, that is true. But necromancy as a skill is not mostly centered in the city of And what I mean by that is, you can go out and do quests using necromancy because it's a combat skill. You can do Slayer using necromancy and level it up, so you can do necromancy anywhere. It's not, as a skill, it's not totally cut off from the rest of Gielinor. And I would argue, to me, again, this is subjective, to me, the city of feels, even though it is literally isolated from the rest of Gielinor, conceptually, it feels more naturally integrated into the world of Gielinor. It's the underworld, right? Every fantasy world has an underworld, basically. And we had never seen it before, but it had been talked about before. It definitely had in Missing Presumed Death. So we knew there was an underworld. It had been talked about before, and now we're just getting to see it. And so it's like, okay, we know this place has existed. It's been talked about in Quest before. And so now we're just getting to see it. It felt really naturally integrated into the world of Gielinor, even though it was literally disconnected from the world of Gielinor geographically. This to me does not. What the heck is Daemonheim? What the heck? I know there is story behind it, don't get me wrong. I know that there's lore here, right? But I've never heard another NPC talk about Daemonheim. I don't think. I mean, maybe I have and I just blocked it out because I was just like, boo, who cares? But I've never, it's not a place I had heard of before, which is fine. New areas don't have to be places we have heard of before, but they have to connect somehow, you know? The new area they're adding now, Havenhithe, from what I've seen, that feels really well connected to this world because it's connected to the vampires. And so it would make sense that we haven't been there before because all the stuff with the vampires has been really complicated. Story-wise, we used to not be able to even get to Mauritania until it was unlocked. So, I don't know, to me that makes sense too. Okay, it's a vampire place. And that sounds interesting to me. I want to see how this is connected to the vampires, what that means, you know? Daemonheim is stark and cold and gray. What is there to do there? There are dungeons, endless, infinite dungeons that you can just go through and kill stuff, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, even what I just said, that does not sound fun. And I know my friend from Discord is going to be watching this, and he's going to be thinking, no, man, when you go in there with friends, and you guys are strategizing and going through rooms together, and figuring out what supplies you need to collect, and getting all this stuff, because that's a conversation he had with me in the past on Discord. Is he was like, it's fun when you do it with other people. And I was like, first of all, I don't like a skill that's only fun if you play with other people. Like, yes, this is an MMO, but I don't know, that's not a pro, it's a con. It's like, I only have fun when I play with other people. And then on top of that, I don't even know how much of that is accurate. Again, it could be subjective, but as you can see in this footage, I did play with other people. And this was the stream that I walked away from because me and my wife were frustrated at Dungeoneering. And, you know, my friend in Discord said I didn't really give it a fair shot. I don't know what he means by that. It's been a long time, so I don't remember if I was whining and complaining the whole time, but I wasn't whining and complaining the whole time the first time I did Dungeoneering, and I didn't like it, you know, so I knew I already had bad experiences with it, so yeah, maybe when I was doing it this time with friends, I was just commenting on how I was feeling. I was just like, I'm currently not having fun. That's just a fact. Anyway, my friend has said that he wants to show me hands-on how to have fun in Dungeoneering. And first of all, I think if that's necessary, that's, again, a failing of the skill. But that could just be a me issue, right? There could be tons of people who watch this and say, I never had any problem finding fun in Dungeoneering, it's just a you thing. And if that's the case, that's fine. You know, we all have different brains. We all enjoy different things. We all process things differently. So I could just do the exact same thing you guys do and just not like it, you know, and that's fine. But maybe there is something I'm missing, you know? Maybe there is fun to be had and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. I feel like if it was fun, I would have just had fun. But, you know, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt to my friend and say that maybe there is something I'm missing. So I had an idea to make a video where I make a new character who is only Dungeoneering. Like, they can only do dungeon. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean they can't interact with the skill things in Dungeoneering. In fact, the idea is any level ups I'm gonna get in combat or in fishing or in mining or whatever is all gonna be through dungeon, and I'm not gonna make that a full series. It's probably just gonna be a one-off video, but I think maybe that could be a way that I could find the fun in Dungeoneering, or I could go crazy and hate it. But I want to give it a fair shot. So if that's something that you think is interesting, if you want to see me make a video where I really give another crack at dungeon and my friend kind of shows me a few things and tries to help me find the fun and I'm kind of locked to dungeoneering. I can only play in Daemonheim and do dungeons over and over. If you want to see me make that video, leave a like on this video. And we'll say if this video gets over 50 likes, I will make that video and give dungeoneering another shot. Why am I putting it behind a like goal? Well, first of all, for engagement, obviously, on this video. But also, because if that's not something you guys are interested in, I don't want to do it. Because as you can hear in this video, I'm already not a huge fan of this skill, and I only want to do this experiment if it's something that people would be open to seeing. And so that's why I'm saying if we get over 50 likes on this video, I'll do it, because if you guys want to see it, I want to show it to you, and maybe I'll learn to love the skill, which would be great. I already love this game, and if I can love this game even more than I did before, that's perfect. I'm open to that. I want that to happen. I really, really do. But so far, this skill has not won me over. Well, thanks guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I want to know what you think. Please leave a comment down below. Do you like dungeoneering? Why do you like it? Do you not like dungeoneering? Why don't you like it? And again, if this video gets over 50 likes, I'll make that video where I have a brand new RuneScape 3 account that is locked to dungeon. I'll try to find what makes dungeon fun. So like the video if you want to see that. And if you want to see the video that I talked about earlier where I rank all of the RuneScape 3 skills on a tier list, check out this video.